Has a YouTuber or celebrity like ever tried to reach out in regards to a video you made about them? If so, can you say who?
This individual did reach out to me, and but they didn't even want me to take a video down. They basically asked me to create a drama video about them. And
there's no point crying about that face. It seems to me like he was just one big mistake.
I'm excited. What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode 2 of You Probably Don't Know This About Me. In today's episode, I will be interviewing D'ANGELO WALLACE, asking him all the juicy, entertaining questions both you and I want to know about him. I mean, when you watch D'ANGELO, he's definitely straightforward, and I feel like he can be a little bit nonchalant to a certain extent. He's definitely a tough cracker to crack. He's a tough cracker to crack, I'm not gonna lie, and you don't hear that often. I feel like by the end of today's interview, you guys will definitely get to know who D'ANGELO actually is, some of his talents, what he's good at, some of the things that you probably would never have guessed about him, and also YouTube and how he got started and how he's blown up, because he has been a consistent creator on the platform for quite some time now, but it's only recently he managed to get a wider reach, which I'm really proud of. So you guys will get to hear it all. You guys get to see the comfortability, hopefully. Just remember that this series is put together so that I can interview creators that I'm a fan of and creators that I'm not a fan of, and basically just ask some questions that I want to know. You guys know me, I'm a shady, reckless bitch. I'd rather be a B. I can't do that and to be professional. You guys know me, I like to just basically ask questions that I feel like I need to ask, because I can't stand those interviews where people just asking the boring questions. Bitch, I'm gonna turn off in 3.5 seconds, okay? But with this interview, I hope you guys get to sit back, grab some snacks, and learn a couple things about D'ANGELO. Your interest in him might grow more, who knows? If you guys want to see a certain person in this series, comment down below who, and I might just get them. I mean, have you seen episode 1? Banger. Without further ado, let's just get started. Okay guys, so quick heads up, the audio in today's video isn't the best. I'm trying to work on audio and technical things behind the scenes, but I promise you guys, in the upcoming episode, I will be working on the audio and perfecting it all. But without further ado, let's just get into the interview. For real, this time. Hey D'ANGELO.
Okay,
How are you?
doing well.
Okay, cool.
Make sure it looks good.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'm joined with D'ANGELO WALLACE. You want to introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Hello, my name is D'ANGELO WALLACE. I am a commentary YouTuber, and I make very long videos about very weird people.
That's very true, honestly. I've literally been watching you for, I think it's going to be 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, because I did find you last summer, and I found you because I made a video about Hailey Morales, and then I saw a video that you did, and it wasn't like you agreed with my opinions, but I was still eager to watch your channel because it looked creative, the thumbnails were sick, and I just felt like you brought something new to the table. But this was before you were doing like documentary style content. Do you remember this time?
Yes, actually, that was the craziest time. That may have been one of my first videos to really take off in terms of views.
Really?
And yeah, I definitely remember coming across your channel when I was just like looking to try to see what people were saying about this. But from then, I actually like followed you back after that situation, and like I saw your growth and your evolution through the content too, and it was just like so impressive on me.
To be honest with you, when I read your comment in the comment section, I was just like, wait, because you're the first person to technically disagree with me on that video. So I was like, who is this person? I feel like you're the first verified channel to really comment on my channel. So I was like, you know what, before hating or being pissed off, let me just check out your channel. And then that's when I learned to just basically love your channel and what you do. But I do want to know why you started commentary and why you started YouTube.
So actually, in terms of like YouTube, I've been making videos for longer than I've had a channel. Actually, like when I was a kid, I would just do them during the summer because I was bored. When I entered college, I was assigned them because that's what I went to school for. So by the time I came to YouTube, I wasn't thinking like I'm going to be a YouTuber. I was just thinking, oh look, here's a website that I can upload my videos to.
Tell us a bit more about like your college life. What did you study? How long was the course? And did you enjoy school?
So I did a 4-year bachelor's degree in mass communication with a concentration in digital film and television production, which is just like a super long way of saying it. It was just like TV stuff, basically.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the people there. Like I enjoyed the relationships I was able to form. I kind of learned there that I am not a big fan of like assigned work. I'm not a big fan of assigned jobs.
Yeah.
So I found out I could do a lot of work, but it had to be something that I really wanted to make it about, not necessarily something that was given to me. So, of course, YouTube wound up being like the ideal career. I can combine my love for video with you know, my desire to create content about whatever I want. Okay,
cool. So why did you step into like the commentary field necessarily? Because there's tons of things you could be doing on YouTube, but you specifically chose commentary.
Actually, it's funny because, as you may know, I didn't start off videos the whole time.
Oh.
And so, like, I had this whole audience, but I really wanted to do what I was seeing. And I'm talking about people like Cody Ko, you know, Danny Gonzalez, Drew Gooden, people like that.
Yeah.
And so I took a risk one day, and I just switched my content over with no warning, and it happened to work out.
That's sick. I like that. That's actually like a similar story to me. I started doing fashion and beauty, but it's crazy because I did those kind of videos because I saw like Zoella doing it and I used to watch her a lot. But then in 2017 or 18, I switched over to commentary, and I feel like that was my calling to do, like, if I was going to do YouTube, it would be to be like opinionated, voice myself, and I like a lot of tea videos and gossip, so this is definitely like the right field for me. Yeah, I definitely am really happy that I transitioned. Is there any tips though you have for anyone who is kind of stuck with content, who doesn't know what they really genuinely want to do? What would you advise them?
I would say try new things. That's the problem I ran into, like, towards the end of my art videos, was I was just too scared to try, like, a commentary video, because what if it didn't do well, etc. But bottom line, even if it doesn't perform well, but you enjoy making it and you consider that's a good video, it's still just as successful as all your other videos. Oftentimes, it's like more of a success than a video that you didn't necessarily want to make. So yeah, if you find yourself like stuck and like you just feel like you've been uploading the same content, just try something new. You know, put your feet on the ground, put your foot down, and try it once. And then you'll know. Maybe you tried it and it wasn't what you wanted. Or maybe you're like, this is it. This is my new direction.
Do you remember, like, I think it was September when I texted you and I was like, do you have any advice for me? Because I felt like I was going through this thing where I enjoyed my content, but I felt like I was just putting out certain videos to please my audience. I don't feel like anyone should do that. Yes, your audience is there and you should keep them entertained, but I felt like I was putting them first before me. And I asked for your advice because I felt like, you know, you're the first person I'll come to, because we're kind of in the same field, a bit different, but I just felt like you were on the track, you were doing really well, let me just ask you. So I was really pleased with the comments you had to say back, and I felt like I needed to hear it because no one else was telling me that, but I had to put myself first. So that's what I would advise anyone watching right now. Like, make sure you're good, make sure you're content with the videos you're popping out on YouTube, because you're more important than anyone else's opinion, is what I would tell you.
And the more you enjoy your own content, the more people are going to enjoy it. Like, I've just absolutely noticed it's like 100% correlated.
Got a juicy question. Has a YouTuber or celebrity like ever tried to reach out in regards to a video you made about them? If so, can you say who or what was it?
Okay, so the funny part is I get this question a lot, actually, and I always have the same answer. One person with, and we're talking about like millions of subscribers, this individual did reach out to me, but they didn't even want me to take a video down. They basically asked me to create a drama video about them. And yeah, it was the most confusing thing ever. And so I looked at this person's content and I was like, this doesn't even seem like the kind of person you would assume would want me to do this. And then, so of course I politely was like, oh, you know, maybe you could tell your own story. I was like, in a really nice way, I was like, no, this is insane. Yeah. And then this person came back again, like a few months later, and that's when I made the connection. Both times when this person had shown up, they had also just released a product. So basically, they were trying to get me to like drum up drama about them, so they could then use it to convert to sales for their product. And I was like, is this why they think I make videos? Like, give the people I talk about clout. It was crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. So do you get like really excited when you see a content creator up in your DM? Do you feel like, oh damn, I've made it? Do you feel accomplished, or is it just like no big deal?
I still get very excited. Mostly just when it's like people I watch. Like if somebody with, 10 million subscribers comments, it's like, that's cool or whatever. But when somebody who like I've been following their content for a long time, and then I see that comment, and it's like the tables are turned because it's like, okay, now they're watching me. That is always the coolest thing.
Can you give away any names or not?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Curtis Connor has like tweeted out that he and his girlfriend watched one of my videos once, and I was just freaking out because I'm like, this is insane. I watched Curtis Connor, you know what I mean? Jarvis Johnson, actually, I went on his podcast once. Literally as nice as he is in his videos, he is somehow even nicer behind the scenes. Like, it's insane. So yeah, no, just meeting these people and seeing like, oh wow, they're really like they are on camera. Like, my idea of them was right. It's just so nice.
That's super dope, honestly. So let me ask you a different type of question. Who's your favorite artist or group at the moment, and what's your favorite genre?
Okay. Ooh. That's a loaded question. Okay, so if you go to my Spotify right now, you will see that I have been listening to Ariana Grande's album, like an unhealthy the amount of time. My excuse is because I'm considering making an album review, but I don't know yet.
You should do it, D'Angelo. You should.
I should. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's reviews have been so good. Also, I've been listening to Joji's album a lot lately. But then there's a lot of smaller artists that I really love, like Vashti Bunyan. It's like multiple genres, but it's like chill music.
Yeah.
The music is kind of slow and chill.
I definitely get that.
Guaranteed to love it.
Is there a genre you wouldn't particularly listen to?
No.
Really?
Even recently, there's been some like folk/country songs that I've had on repeat, which is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how is this happening? There's been some metal that I've had on repeat, like Veil of Maya. And I'm kind of getting scared because I'm like, am I just starting to embrace all genres? It's not where I thought I would be.
Okay, would you say you're more active on Instagram or Twitter? And which one do you prefer?
I was super active on Twitter, like tweeting multiple times a day. And I definitely would say that I prefer Instagram, though, weirdly enough, even though I only post a few times. Because with Instagram, I feel like it's like a nicer community. Like, you post a picture of yourself, and then people say nice things, or like you go to your explore page, and mine is like mostly memes and drawings. But then you go to Twitter, and it's like everything you say, people have an opinion on it. It's like, that's fair, that's fine, but it's not always like a positive experience. So recently, I've actually taken like a mini break from Twitter, which is insane because I've had so much trouble trying to do this thing in the past. But for the past week, I only tweeted once.
So you spoke earlier about opinions and how when you go on Twitter, people are so vocal about how they feel about what you say. Do you ever like read a hate comment and think, oh damn, I'm gonna log off, I'm never gonna come on this platform, or just take a break? Like, does a hate comment really ever get to you? If so, what type of things do they technically say about you?
They absolutely used to. Like, I could say earlier when I just first started this, I would like internalize every comment. People would say, oh, you know, you talk too slowly, or, you know, you don't have enough energy in your videos. And I would start internalizing this stuff. I'm like, am I talking too slowly? Do I not have enough energy? Yeah, and so, but the crazy part is, and this might not be the best way of dealing with it, I just got so many of those comments that they like stopped meaning things. So like if you go to my last video, I think there's like 27,000 or so comments, and a lot of them are like not necessarily nice, but then it's like, if there's like, I've read so many of these, like there's nothing I could say anymore.
Exactly. See, I like that kind of confidence. So what would you say to anyone who even wants to do, well, I feel like in any job, haters happen to be around, but when it comes to being an influencer or being on social media, you just see the comments. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, in real life, people technically just hate behind your back, but on social media, they voice their opinions and they can say anything. So what would you say to anyone who wants to really put themselves out there but is afraid of, like, being attacked?
You just have to remind yourself that what you're reading is abnormal. So, like, if you put out a video and someone's like, oh, wow, you look super ugly and that outfit's not it, you should really think to yourself, this is not something that someone would really say to me in real life. No one, like, does this. Is abnormal behavior. So if you start in your head thinking, yeah, this is just weird, people being weird, it's not necessarily reflective of how most people feel. I think it becomes a lot easier to, like, deal with, you know, the hate.
Definitely. For me, in terms of hate, like, I mean, it doesn't really get to me most days unless someone takes the extra time to, like, go to my Instagram and DM me and, like, put my face on a monkey. Literally, they did that. And I have to laugh because it's like...
Holy crap.
But, like, it just made no sense. It happened twice. Like, it happened on Christmas Day last year, and then it happened a couple of months ago when I made a video about Jeffree Star. It was a Jeffree Star fan account, and they put my face, on an animal. And I was like, wait, how do you have so much time? Like, I know it's quarantine, everyone's at home, but, like, do something better. And then they tried to Photoshop Jeffree Star liking the picture. I'm like, what? They literally have no followers, so it makes no sense.
People do the most, like, legitimately. And it raises the question in my mind. It's like, okay, so I take it you don't like me, but then it's like, how are you spending this much effort? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. Okay, so now into like a deeper question that I personally want to know. Have you ever disagreed with something that I've said on my YouTube channel? If so, what was it?
Ooh, this is scary. Okay.
Keep it real.
Be really, really, really real? I have to say, I guess some of your unpopular opinions videos, do you remember, like, you used to put out, like, a ton of those?
Yeah.
Or not a ton, but you definitely had, like, a
yeah.
amount of them. And sometimes I would be, like, vibing, like, along with it, but then you'd, like, give an opinion on the artist, and I'm like, I would be, like, heated. I would be like, now, hold on. But no, for the most part, it's just, like, little things like that. I feel like you and my, like, our philosophy of, like, influencers and all that, just like in
yeah.
terms of like our opinions on things people are doing. But yeah, no, sometimes you do come for my faves, and I'm just like, why?
Speaking of faves, give me 5 people, celebrities you really, really are huge fans of. Like, if you met them, you would literally pass out. Because for me, it's Rihanna.
FKA Twigs, the singer. Michaela Cole, film producer, actress, everything, literally. John Boyega, I think it's amazing what he's been doing recently. Let me think. The Weeknd, I just think he's so talented.
I don't know why,
like, what would I do?
I don't know. I don't know why.
What would I do?
But whenever
Let me think. The last person I think I would just might flip out if I saw this person in the street. I'm trying to think real hard. I don't know. Number 5, who do I listen to a lot?
Yeah.
You know, it's sad because a lot of the artists I listen to, like, they disbanded or like they don't make music anymore. But so Gord Downey's not here anymore. He was a Canadian singer, and his stuff really like meant a lot to me. So I would have loved, to
exactly.
But yeah, no, those 5 people, I might freak out a bit. Everyone else is like, oh, you got followers. I got some followers. Those people are just like, do you see what I'm seeing?
I don't know why you remind me. Okay, you don't look like him, but you just remind me of The Weeknd. Like, anytime, I don't know what it is, but you just give me The Weeknd vibes. Have you had that before?
It's actually the best thing anyone's ever said to me. I don't deserve it.
Okay, so the next question is, how long does research usually take for you? Because your videos are so sick. They're so lengthy as well, good quality content. I think that's why you've been blowing up, to be honest.
Thank you. It fully depends on, like, the subject matter. So, like, my last 3 videos are a really good example. The one I just put out was about Blair White. So that was, like, one person, and I was talking about one event that basically happened over a month's time period.
Yeah.
So I got the video together pretty quickly. I think in, like, a week, if I cut out all the days I took off, I wound up producing that. But if you look at the series I did before that, it was, like, 2 videos about the Paul brothers. It legit was, like, a month and a half, almost, of, like, research.
What?
And just, like, yeah. But, like, my eyes peeled because the problem was, like, I was talking about things that happened from 2017 all the way up through 2020. And I was basically telling, like, the story of how these beginnings carried and evolved all the way throughout their career. And so, like, doing that for 2 different people over, like, I think it wound up being almost 2 hours worth of content. That was insane. That took a very, very long time. So, like, but, like, this video I'm working on right now, currently, that hasn't come out yet, I'd say it's definitely on the easier side. But every now and then I get these ideas on my head. I'm like, I'm going to do this super big thing. And then I actually have to do it.
That's, D'Angelo, that is crazy. You spend hours at work. Like, you literally work hard, genuinely. And I feel like, again, that's why you're blowing up. I mean, I watched you before the big blow up, and I feel like you still remain the same. You're still humble. When I watch your channel, I feel like even a lot of people watching right now might be able to, like, agree with me. I feel like we don't get to see you. We don't get to see who D'Angelo is, so that's why I'm doing this, and hopefully by the end of the interview we can find out something interesting about you, because I feel like when I watch your videos it's just straight to the point, and then you do have a bit of your banter in there occasionally, but it is such a serious thing, and that's what I like about your channel, because a lot of people that I watch, it isn't too put together. Your one just seems like, because you edit yourself, don't you?
Oh yeah, all of it.
D'Angelo, I'm sorry, I'm mind blown. This is a lot. I feel like, so wait, back in college, you were doing film studies, right? Was there ever a point where it was like, I wanted to give up, because you were there for 4 years?
Yes, towards the end of it, basically I came into college and I was killing it. I had like a 4.0 GPA. I was on the dean's list. I was like doing everything perfectly. But the longer it like trudged on, basically, I had just started losing like my resolve, because I'm just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. At the end of it, they're just going to give me a piece of paper. This costs so much money. I'm not learning anything. And I would say my last semester was the worst one, just because like a bunch of things coincided at once to make it in a whole period. So by the end of it, I was just so thoroughly done. I was just like, forget video, forget all of this. This is not what I want to do with my life. But thankfully, at the same time, my YouTube channel had just started to pick up. Like, the timing of it was insane. And so I would say it's a really good thing, because YouTube allowed me to get back into video. And it's like, I do want to do this. I just don't want to make, like this boring stuff that they were designing in school. That's what I don't love. But just the process of, like, research and putting videos together. And even, like, filming, video, lights, all that. I would say, like, YouTube kind of gave me back my love for it. So I really appreciate that.
Okay, so you said that you spend quite a couple of hours when it comes to researching and putting videos together. Do you find that your personal life is do you feel like you have a personal life then? Because a lot of YouTubers actually struggle with that. A lot of people are so focused on their content because they're making money from it, but they don't have friends, they don't have a family they can communicate with as much. What is it like for you?
Basically, I noticed that might start happening. So, like, I would spend the day doing my work, and then by the end of it, I realized, okay, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't seen any of my friends. I haven't spoken or heard anyone else's voice. So, because of that, a little while ago, I started taking precautions. And basically, I just plan things out in chunks. Sometimes I do have to take like a 16-hour day to get something done in the time frame that I want. But if that's the case, then I'm not going to do that for the rest of the 6 other days of the week. I'll take a whole day off and leave my computer off. I won't turn it on. I'll spend that with my family, or I'll talk to my friends, stuff like that. So basically, the short answer is like I have to force myself to balance it, because I'll work 24/7. I'll put 4 videos a month, 1 hour each, but that's not good for me. And in the end, I think it's better. Like the more days I take off and focus on myself and my relationships, the more like groundwork I have.
Okay, so do you feel pressure to like accumulate tons of views now? Because I feel like during lockdown, I feel like you would agree as well, there was just so much that happened to you very quickly. I mean, the Shadè Lester video, I feel like that's when a lot of my friends knew about you. And then we had the Tati video, the Shane one, the Jeffrey one. That was a lot. So how did you deal with it? And also, do you feel like it's a pressure to basically have the same effect happen continuously?
I honestly have to say no. First of all, I'm super grateful. I flew past 1 million subscribers, tens of millions of views on my channel. So I will never take that for granted. But at the same time, whether that had happened or not, I would just continue making the content I am. For me, the pressure I feel is I want to make better videos. And that might sound crazy to a lot of people because they're like, oh, we like your videos, they're so good. But I have like a vision, I guess, of quality that I'm always chasing in my videos. And so I consider a video a success if I personally can say, like, with full honesty, yes, this is higher quality than the last one. If it got less than 1 million views, then it doesn't necessarily matter because I can still feel good about it. You know what I mean? As the only people I want to focus on keeping with me are my core subscribers. You know what I mean? Like, I really, because a lot of them have been here for longer than the Shane and the Jeffrey and all that. I've had people like you, honestly, who have been following me since I was like a small channel. So I focus on them. I continue making good content, and if more people show up, that's fine. But if not, and I'm just like stuck at 1.7 million, then we'll be stuck at 1.7 million. We'll just watch some good videos.
That's the right mentality to have when making content. Because I feel like if you are just so caught up in numbers 24/7, like I kind of was. Because obviously when you're doing well consistently and it just is different, obviously your mindset's gonna be like, oh yeah, have I gone wrong somewhere? But sometimes it's just the algorithm. YouTube, it just moves in different ways. I feel like during summer I was thriving, and during winter time, the transitional period when everyone's back to school, I feel like I just had to get used to that, but I didn't. So it took me a while, and I wasn't thriving. But it's okay, because as long as you have the right idea and you're pushing it and your audience can see the authenticity, then that's all that matters. Next question would be, what makes you stand out in the commentary world? Because I've said what I feel like makes you stand out, but what do you think?
That's a good question. Okay. Well, first of all, I would just say, like, there's a ton of styles of commentary channels. So there's people like, Angelica Holes, and like she's on it. Like,
she is.
Or there's people more so like Danny Gonzalez, where like it's like wholesome content, even if it's talking about weird stuff, it's like funny. So I would say my style is like research. I would say I tend to prioritize like the research more, and if that winds up with me being late on the story, then I'll take it. I'll push the video back and like do more research, even if I'm a bit late.
Because I feel you did the review on Cuties, didn't you? The Netflix show. And you were a bit late, but it still did really well. And I feel like it's because the way you felt about the movies was how a lot of us felt, and you just executed it really well. You did research again. That's what I feel like makes you stand out, because you're willing to wait and just make sure everything's perfect before getting it out there. Because a lot of people just rush with it. So I feel like that's what makes you stand out. But also, the documentary like style content is sick. No one else is doing it. And if they are doing it now, I can say D'Angelo started it.
Thank you. So that's the thing. I think a lot of creators are scared, and it's like understandable, because the algorithm is basically like, if you do not get a bunch of views as soon as possible, then your channel will die. But I've been experimenting. I'm like, what if I went a whole month without uploading, and I focused on making 2 really good videos? Will my channel die? And they're like, it doesn't. So I feel like a lot of it is like breaking away from the fear of I have to get everything out right now.
How have things changed for you, like before blowing up until now? Do people treat you differently? Do you get more messages? Like, just tell me about what does D'Angelo have to go through in a daily nowadays?
Okay, so I will say this. I got recognized for the first time ever.
Really?
A while ago. Yes, it was insane actually, and it was at a fast food place of all places. I was just like going there to pick something up really fast, and the person there, they were like looking at me like I thought they were staring. I was like, is there something on my face? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then they come back with my food, and they're like, are you D'Angelo Wallace? And that was like insane. But it was just the one person. That was like when I had just passed 1 million. And I did the math in my head, and I'm like, okay, if 1 million people follow me and like 10 million people have watched my videos, then I guess one person would know me in my city. But honestly, it's like not like a whole big change. I can go like to Walmart and no one's gonna know, just because it's like it's a large community, but there's so many people out there.
Yeah.
As far as like my friends and family, they'll never let me get a big head. If I'm talking like on big stuff, they'll remind me where I came from, and like that's a good thing I think, because staying grounded is super important. Because if you don't stay grounded, then you'll wind up turning into the kind of people that you talk about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. That was shady.
Oh, oops. And then as far as like messages and stuff, I've always kind of gotten just a lot, but I typically don't answer them just because I never know like what's going on. Sometimes people come into your DMs and like they might act like they want something, but they try to set you up. Or other times you might say the wrong thing. So I kind of just have this policy of like I don't answer them, but I always appreciate it because people are so nice, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's like, but I have like too much social anxiety.
Really, same. Honestly, same.
Yes.
But did you have that beforehand, or do you feel like YouTube kind of developed it for you?
Oh no, I can confidently say I've always been like this. Like I am super tight with my family and my friend group, but outside of that, I am super reluctant to even like start a conversation.
Same. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I know how it feels. It just sucks because you want to be like the others who are constantly out there making friends 24/7, but it's just like it's a task for me. I just can't do it. But I'm trying anyways. I feel like I just have to be patient. Yeah. I feel like I'm kind of shocked to know that was the first time a fan came up to you, because I would have thought that people would have been coming up to you beforehand. Like even when you were on 500K.
Yeah, no, I had just passed 1 million. It legitimately might have been like that day or the day after, and that was the first time. And but I really thought about it, and I'm like, honestly, I can confidently say I don't go to crowded places enough. Like I'm sure if I was constantly going to like the mall or the movie theater, I'm sure there's people there who watch my videos, because they do get a lot of views. But honestly, like I keep to myself so hard. It's probably why.
Okay, cool. So the next question would be, are you ready for this one? Okay, so who do you feel like is the most problematic YouTuber?
Ooh, that is such a good question. The most problematic.
Give me two then, if it's easier.
Okay, I can easily do two. I'll say Onision. Definitely.
Okay, yeah.
Has to be maybe my all-time most problematic YouTuber. And the reason why is because unlike other people, you criticize them and like you bring attention to what they've done, and like that's good. But the problem with people like Onision is like you criticize them, and he will turn that into more clout. He will make videos about your reaction. So it's like if you call out his behavior, you're almost enabling it. That is super problematic, in my opinion. And then I guess I would have to say people like Trisha Paytas. She's in the same role.
For sure.
It's like for me, it's like tricky because she talks a lot about problems that she has, and like they're legitimate issues, but it's like they don't excuse her behavior. So it makes it hard to criticize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people like that, I didn't say it was like I've never made a video about Onision, even though he is coming up in my upcoming video. It's a little scary.
Ooh.
I've never really made a video about Trisha Paytas because it's like I don't even feel equipped to tackle kind of problematic behavior.
I feel like for me, I would probably say the top two. I can't say Shane and Jeffrey. I don't want to say both of them. It's either or. I just don't know who's worse. Who do you feel like's worse between them?
Shane or Jeffrey?
Yeah.
I would honestly say Jeffrey's star is worse because whereas Shane at least definitely seems like he stopped, all this stuff.
Yeah.
He kind of like sat down, he kind of went into hiding for a little bit. Jeffrey's still there. It's like nothing can happen to him. It's insane.
Exactly. Okay, I'll say Jeffrey, and I'll also say, I feel like Gabby Hanna. Like, okay, I don't think she's the worst, but like, she can't take in the fact that not everyone's gonna like her. She needs to understand that at least. So yeah, I feel like her mentality is a little bit messed up, but yeah, she's not the worst out there, but she's the first person that came to my head. So let's go with that.
Well, because she's always in something. Like, no matter what's going on, you can guarantee that Gabby Hanna is in drama with at least one person. It's insane.
The next question you don't have to answer, but I think we'd all love to know. Okay, do you charge a lot for sponsorships, and have you always?
I will say this. I used to charge what I thought was the normal rate for sponsorships because I didn't have any, like, understanding of it. So these people would offer me a rate, and I was like, oh yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah.
And it would, like, in a way, I feel like I was being taken advantage of because they would come to me and they would offer me these prices and kind of make it seem like they were doing me a favor.
Yeah.
And they were not transparent about how much money they were taking. But then I met my manager, actually, and he came in and he was like, you realize you can get like 3 times the money that you're getting.
Yeah.
So he worked up this new deal. He's like, look, I will just take like 20%, basically. I'll take a 20% commission. And so because of that, I will try to get your sponsorships as high as possible so that I can get paid the most off of my commission. And since then, that man has consistently pulled deals that are like
insane.
Just a little bit mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, for example, because on the video I did about cuties, I was able to donate my sponsorship money, all of it. And that wound up coming out to, I think, over $7,000.
Wow.
So, long story short, you just have to not get taken advantage of because they will. They'll come in and they'll be like, oh, we'll pay you X amount of money. And trust me, this is a good deal.
Yeah.
But then they're taking like an insane amount of it that you're not even aware of. So find somebody who has like the marketing sense who will do that for you. Yeah.
I feel like I can relate to that. I've definitely I feel like in the beginning when someone reaches out to you, you're just like, okay, yeah, I'll do it for free, which is fine. Sometimes you can do it for free, I feel like. But then it gets to a point where when you're doing so well, you do want the money in return. Like, I know some people don't really want to talk about money, but I think that we do work hard. We do deserve the rights to earn as well. I'm not saying that we should be like make more money than doctors or anything. I don't really agree with that. But I do think that we should earn at the end of the day. And a lot of people don't like to see it like that because they think all we do is just sit down, press one button, and that's it. What do you feel about that? And those kind of comments?
I'm just saying, some people, they just seem to get, like, angry that YouTubers make money at all. Because it's like, you know, oh, how dare you? Like, I see it on Reddit a lot. People are like, this person put ads on their video, and it's like, we gotta get paid. But I honestly see it as responsible because I think you should try to make, like, ethically the most money you can while you can right now. Because YouTube's not going to be forever. Like, of course, I'm super grateful. I love where I am right now. And I want to go, like, even higher and higher. I want 10 million subscribers, etc. But I know that in 10 years, I might not be doing YouTube. In 10 years, I might not have sponsorships coming to me that are in the same range that I'm at right now. So I will put ads on my videos.
Exactly.
Charge an arm and a leg, basically, because I've got to take care of myself in the future. I can't just focus on right now. It's like, oh, I'm doing so well. It'll always be like this.
What does everyone think about you earning money from YouTube? Because it isn't like a traditional job. And I'm sure like I'm sure you know some people who are working like, you know, 9 to 5. So what do they think about you making like some cash from YouTube?
Well, a lot of my friends actually, interestingly enough, like we are YouTubers. Like we run in the same sphere. So it's like we pretty much have the similar mentality. It's like a blessing that we were able to get monetized in the first place. Because you kind of have to get like X amount of views and X amount of hours. As for my parents though, this is pretty funny. I will say they do take it seriously, but I have to show up with the check first. So like at first I'm kind of like, hey guys, I'm making money, and they're like, we're not taking me seriously.
Exactly.
And then I would show them a check, but it was like a really small check, and they were like, they're not taking me seriously. The first time I showed up, and the check was like kind of substantial, they were like, oh, and so like from then, like the language around it has been so different. I just thought it was really funny.
Literally the same story for me. I had to literally show them proof that I was earning from it. Otherwise, they wouldn't consider it like an actual job. Like they wouldn't say I could give up everything for this. Basically, tell us something that no one knows about you.
I think no one really knows that I am a gamer, and I'm not talking about like, oh, you know, I play, you know, in person here and there. Several games that I've spent like several hundred hours in.
Oh
just
my
like trying
god.
to get better. Yeah, but the thing is, like, I never talk about that on my channel, just because I feel like, as much as I love gaming, I don't necessarily love like gaming content or like creating it. But people don't realize I could like watch them in a bunch of games, basically.
That's crazy. Okay, what do you like to do in your spare time?
In my in that show. I've got to finish it. Guess I'm watching all of it. I'll just my whole day for like 5 days or however long it takes to get through that show. Because I'm like obsessed with storytelling. Legitimately obsessed with storytelling. So if you give me a good story, that's it. You've got my money, you've got my time, you've got my energy.
Okay, so now for like a deeper topic, has YouTube had like a negative effect on your mental health at all? If so, could you tell us a story, an example?
Sure. I'll tell you about the worst impact that, or like I guess the lowest point for me with YouTube. And it was right before I had changed my content, over from art to commentary. I had several sponsorships lined up. I think I had 4 sponsorships planned, and they were all supposed to go up within 1 month. And so I did them. I created all the sponsorships, I sent them out. Yeah. And then I created 2 entire videos that they were going to go in. And eventually I just had to email all 4 of my sponsorships and all 4 of the sponsor companies. And I was like, I'm sorry. I have to exit this contract because I can't upload. I don't know what's going on, but I can't create content. It's not working. I can't put stuff on my channel. And for 2 months, it was the longest period I spent without actually watching YouTube. Like, it wasn't even like I just didn't create content. I couldn't turn the website on and look at all these people who seemed to be doing a good job. Yeah, because I was legitimately so burnt out with art content. And I would get scared of the fact that I was like, am I going to be doing this for a long time? Because this doesn't make me happy. So throughout those 2 months, I did a lot of things. I focused on my artwork. I focused on, I was like listening to music. I was working on things, but I was working on things that didn't have to do with YouTube. And that's what showed me I've got to be able to segment. I've got to be able to step out of my comfort zone. So that's why I came back with the commentary stuff. And from there, I would say, like, that was a very negative experience. Just like, holy crap, I'm unhappy, and I could potentially be unhappy for a long time. But it showed me what was like the best lesson I can say I've learned as an adult, which is like, I have to be willing to put my happiness above what's working for me right now.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any questions you have for me or anything you've ever wanted to know about me in general?
Okay, actually, I have a good question. Because I get the vibe. Like, I love your YouTube content, of course, but like, you're so talented with like the music and like the content and all that. So what I always wonder sometimes, like when you make some comments, I'm like, what do you really want to do like after this? Like right now, of course, YouTube is like a transition into the next thing. But like, what's that next thing for Keisha in 10 years when like we turn on the TV or the radio? Like, what are we gonna see?
Okay, that's a good question. It's always been music, to be honest, but I feel like since doing YouTube, I realized that I have a big personality, so I can definitely open myself up in different fields. I just feel like entertainment is such a big field, so I can pretty much do anything surrounding that. I just feel like, again, my personality is so bubbly. I feel like I can latch on to anyone else. So I did an interview with someone else last week, and our vibes were completely different from this interview, but I also love how I'm able to attach to your energy, not change myself, but basically just make each other feel comfortable. So I would say definitely stay within the field, definitely music. I think that when I released my recent single Freak back in June, I was surprised that it accumulated 100,000 views in literally, I think, 20 hours. I didn't believe that. Like, I literally was about to faint. I didn't know that I could do that just yet, so I think that was a wake-up call for me to take this more serious and to literally perfect my craft, because I feel like it is my calling. And I think some people know their calling in life. Do you feel like you have your calling or not yet?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I would say, in a way, my calling is like artistry, just in general.
Yeah.
And like, I don't always have time to like put it into my videos, but like if you gave me like, hey, you have 3 months to create something really amazing, I know I can do it.
I definitely agree. But yeah, I just felt like my calling was that. So it would be a huge mistake for me to not showcase it at all on my channel. And I feel like, I'm blessed to basically be in my position, so I might as well take advantage. So I've released 3 songs so far. I have another one coming out maybe this month or December, but if not December, then January at most. So I would say music is kind of what I'm doing. I want to push that. I don't want it to be the focus of my channel though, because I personally don't feel like I'm ready for that just yet. Maybe like next year or the year after that. But just trying to balance commentary and music, because no one else is doing that. And I've been told that I probably shouldn't, but I'm happy that I did it because I kind of took a W with it. Yeah,
that's what you should be doing,
Okay, so now last question for you is, do you have any future plans or upcoming projects you can share with us?
Let me think about that. Future plans, upcoming projects. Okay, I can't give too much information about this, but social media platform like a whole platform, has actually reached out to me, like not YouTube, and they were like, "Hey, you're really good at delivering information, and we like your personality. Do you want to do a show for us?" And I was like, "Are you actually kidding me?" So like right now, we're like so early that I don't even like want to say what it is, because it might not happen. But yeah, that could potentially be in the works, like me hosting something for like an original series for another platform. And I think that's crazy. Easily like the best, most exciting thing I'm looking forward to like next year, basically.
Yeah. So how many more years do you feel like you will spend on YouTube? Is there like a goal of when you want to finish? Is there a goal of what you want to happen to you next?
Honestly, I take it like a year at a time. At the beginning of last year, towards the end of last year, I wrote down on a document, I was like, I want to get at least 1 million subscribers in 2020. And it wasn't like I wanted to happen. I knew it was going to happen if I stuck to my guns.
Yeah.
And now I'm at 1.7 million.
That's
and it's
insane.
like the year's not over yet. So that really shows me I can pick a year and I can grind really hard. So like as well as I've been doing this year, I think next year it's quality. That's what I'm going to be focusing on. I want to upload videos that are like so good. People are just like, how is this free? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that if I do that, it's going to like return. So 2021, I'm going to hit it really hard. Who knows? Like, who knows what will happen in
Exactly, it's so
2021.
true. Thank you so much, D'Angelo, for joining me in episode 2. I appreciate this. I hope you had so much fun. I'll see you very soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.